Consumers, Ghana COPEC is forecasting a slight increase in diesel prices at the local pumps from yesterday. According to COPEC's projections for the second pricing window, diesel prices could rise by 2% due to depreciation of the cedi.
Global fuel market trends showed mixed movements, with petrol prices recording a decline while diesel prices continue to rise. Free on-board prices for petrol have dropped by about 5% on the international market, a development that could provide some relief for consumers at local fuel stations. Diesel, however, has recorded an increase of between 2% and 3% on the global market. The cedi lost some 1.5% in the window under review. Head of Research and Training at COPEC Ghana, Paul Eric Ofori, notes the contrasting movements are expected to influence local pump prices as oil marketing companies prepare for the next pricing window.
When you combine these variables, then it means that come the 16th of this month, consumers should be rest assured that petrol prices are going to remain stable and in some cases reduced by some 3% at the pumps. The diesel, we are also hoping that oil marketing companies will be magnanimous to consumers by maintaining prices, and in some cases it may go up slightly or marginally by some 2% at the pumps.
COPEC has appealed to oil marketing companies, OMCs, to be circumspect in setting fuel prices during the upcoming pricing window. The chamber urged OMCs to reflect favorable international market trends in their pump prices to protect consumers from unnecessary increases.
We are hoping that oil marketing companies will not unduly increase ex-pump prices, at the detriment of consumers, by especially maintaining the price of diesel at the pumps and in some cases reducing the price of petrol, just to ease up the burden consumers have been going through over the last couple of windows.
Now, the government of Ghana has recorded its 8th consecutive oversubscription at the Treasury bills auction on Friday, August 14, 2026, attracting bids of 11.279 billion cedis against an initial target of 5.993 billion cedis. The strong demand underscores the continued use of Treasury bills by government to raise short-term financing and manage its immediate funding needs. This 3 Business News Desk report has more.
The strong demand translates into a subscription rate of 188.21% and an oversubscription rate of 88.21%. However, government accepted 4.88 billion cedis, representing an acceptance rate of 43.28% of total bids and about 81.46% of its target. For the 91-day bill, investors offered 5.066 billion cedis, of which government accepted 4.065 billion cedis at a yield of 5.46%. The 182-day bill attracted 1.281 billion cedis in bids, with 526.44 million cedis accepted at a yield of 7.27%. Meanwhile, the 360-day bill received the strongest investor interest, with offers reaching 4.931 billion cedis. Government, however, accepted just 289.70 million cedis at a yield of 12.50%. The auction comes amid a continued decline in Treasury bill yields, even as investor demand remains robust. The results indicate that investors continued to show strong appetite for government securities despite the lower returns. Government's decision to accept below its target also suggests a continuous approach to borrowing as yields continue to ease.
Economic activities in Ghana expanded by 5.1% in May 2026. That was driven largely by strong growth in the services sector. Data from the monthly indicator of economic growth shows the MEG index rose to 121.9 in May, up from 115.9 recorded in the same month last year. There's more in the following 3 Business News Desk reports.
The services sector recorded the strongest growth, expanding by 7.2% and contributing 51% to overall economic growth during the period. Industry also grew by 4.2%, accounting for 23.8% of total growth, while agriculture expanded by 3.6% and contributed 21.2%. The growth in agriculture was driven mainly by the crops and livestock subsectors. The figures point to continued expansion across all three major sectors of the economy, with services remaining the biggest driver of economic activity in May 2026. The broad-based growth suggests sustained momentum across key areas of the economy during the period. The latest performance also reflects increased activity in sectors that support production, employment, and household incomes.
The Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, has underscored the urgent need to translate Ghana's macroeconomic stability into sustainable long-term industrial transformation. Addressing stakeholders in Accra, the AGI president, Kofi Nsiapoku, stated that the primary responsibility facing both government and the private sector is to ensure that gains in macroeconomic stability lead directly to a more competitive domestic manufacturing base, expanded formal employment, and a stable growth model shielded from commodity price volatility.
We recognize that government cannot build a resilient economy alone, and neither can business do. It is in the quality of our dialogue, honest, evidence-based, and forward-looking, that will find a path to sustain and inclusive growth for Ghana. Our hard-won gains could also become fragile if the measures that must consolidate the gains are not in place. The task before us, government and businesses together, is to convert the macroeconomic stability into structural transformation, more competitive industry, more formal jobs, and a growth path that does not rise or fall with the price of a single commodity. The Association of Ghana Industries stands ready to work with the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, and for that matter, government, to ensure that the momentum is translated into an operating environment where Ghanaian businesses can invest, compete, and grow with confidence.
Let's take a look at what's happening on the forex and commodities markets.
On the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks trade amongst themselves, the dollar is selling at 10 cedis 95 pesos. It lost 3 pesos. The British pound is selling at 14 cedis 85 pesos. It gained 3 pesos. The euro is selling at 12 cedis 68 pesos. It also gained 2 pesos. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at the Forex Bureau name. On the global commodities market, Brent crude is trading at $88.52 per barrel. Gold is trading at $4,376.40 per ounce, down by $26. Cocoa is trading at $5,773 per ton, down by $54.
And that was an update from the Forex and Commodities market. And that'll be all for the business news on Sunrise. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Christabel Success Trevor. The rest of the Sunrise team are on standby. Don't go away.